The rest of this video, I'm going to share with you how she inspired others and the result that other people have got whilst doing this. These are just people. These are people like you who sat at home one day and thought, I really think I need to lose some weight. My job over this period of time has been to pull them away from focusing on the result and to get them to really focus on the process. And welcome back to the channel. My name's Adam Berry, and I'm going to take you through part 2 of the Should You Weigh Yourself Every Single Day challenge that I did with one of my clients. If you've been on the channel for a while, then you're likely to have seen part 1 of this challenge, and this is part 2. I promised you I'd bring you this after the 60-day period of the work with my client, and that's what this is. But if you haven't seen part 1, I'd suggest you go back and watch that first, just to give this some context, and then come back to this one, because this takes on a whole different meaning, and it's awesome. So let's get into it. So let's just do a really quick recap on who my client was, where she was at, and what she achieved in the first 30 days of stepping on the scale every single day. Now, she hadn't been on the scale ever in like 2 or 3 years, as far as I'm aware, from what I can remember. And we decided to get her more exposed to this girl and to help her improve her relationship with it, and therefore her relationship with her own personal weight. So she started stepping on the scale every single day. She started on the 18th of April 2020, and her weight was 15 stone 6 pounds. And over the 30 days, she got down to 15.4. So she lost 2 pounds in 30 days, which I think is incredible. And actually, that's a bit of a misnomer, because the day after that, she hit 15.3. So she just hit a bad day on the last day of the challenge. So she hit 15.3. She lost 3 pounds in 4 weeks, roughly 4 weeks, 30 days, which is incredible, which is like the most wonderful kind of rate of fat loss ever. Obviously, we pick it up from the 19th of May, 2020. And she weighed in on the 19th, 15.5. So she's gone from 15.4 on the 18th, and now she's this on the 19th. So it's gone up again, which is annoying. But hey, that's part of the process. This is why I get people to weigh themselves every single day, so they get used to the ups and downs, the fluctuations, the everything that goes in with it. Now, she's got herself down by the 19th of June to 15.2, to this, which is great. Like, it follows a similar pattern to where she was at in the first 30 days, which is great. That it's not falling off uncontrollably, which is exactly what we want. And that it's very slow, very steady progress. In these 30 days, she did go through a number of changes to her circumstances, which meant she spent a long time in quite a rough plateau at around the 15.4, 15.5, 15.3 area. She was just trading off days for probably about 2.5 weeks of these weights, just trading them off. And there was kind of no pattern to it, other than the fact it wasn't going any lower, but it wasn't going any higher either. And it was a case of let's be patient, and we did have to dial in a couple of things. Now, it came as no surprise to me, no surprise at all, that this stint in what she was trying to get to, this stint in her progress, as it were, came as she slowly got reintroduced back into work, because we've been in lockdown, it's been quarantine, and she was now having to figure out how to go back to work. Now, I know if that was me in that situation, I'd find it very stressful. I've gone from literally my sole focus is being at home, being furloughed, and enjoying a bit of time away from not having to think about work, to then suddenly she was like one of the first people back in as well. I was surprised that she said she was going back to work. And that obviously would have brought up a lot of anxiety for her. That would have brought up a lot of worry and fear. And not only that, it's a huge readjustment again. Clearly had an effect on the way she was able to control her diet, because she'd lost time. She was now spending time at work. She found tracking a little bit more difficult because she just felt like she didn't have the time. She felt it was hard to get her steps in while she was at work again. And all the things that we're working on that was creating the result for her, she was trying to do, but she was also having to take on work. She was having to deal with all of that stress. And as you can imagine, at some point, something's got to give. It's not like bounced all the way back up to where you started. You've stayed under your starting point. But what I really see, is it's going sustainably. And you've just readapted to a huge element of your life. And you're still losing weight. Yeah, it's harder to chip away at. But you're still losing weight. Don't ever forget that. It doesn't matter whether you take 10 steps forward or 1. It's still a step forward. This is her graph of her readings. And what I love about this is you can see the groupings. You can see where it is. You can see the data. You can see the groups of data. And that's what we're looking for. Yep, there's anomalies. There always will be. But the bulk of the dots are what we're looking for. And the bulk of the dots tell me, and we can also draw a beautiful line going all the way through it with a downward trend. And that's amazing. So that's where that client is at. But this video isn't really about her. This video is about, well, it is about her because it's about what she's actually achieved elsewhere. After I published part 1 of Should You Weigh Yourself Every Day, I went away, I wrote an article called Your Scale Strategy. It's linked below. Give it a read. I also produced a full book PDF for the Fitness Collective all about your scale strategy and how I want people in the Fitness Collective to start working with the scale. None of this would have happened had my client, my original client, had she not have done the first 30 days and had she not have got such an amazing result from it. And then what happened is I started getting messages from clients and from non-clients telling me things like, I'm weighing myself every day and it's amazing. I'm improving my relationship with the scale. I'm seeing it as just data. I'm getting used to the fluctuations. I'm getting used to seeing it go up and go down. I'm starting to see patterns. I'm starting to look at the data, and everything that I was trying to get my client, my original client, to think about and to focus on and to work with, she had now inspired probably about 10 other people to do it. The rest of this video, I'm going to share with you how she inspired others and the result that other people have got whilst doing this. Again, they've only done it for 30 days. And in this group, there's someone who's 63 years old. There's someone who's in their 40s and she's a mum of 4 children. There's a man who's in his 40s and a father of 4 children. Yeah, they're husband and wife. There's someone who's got cerebral palsy and is disabled and her legs aren't fully functional. And there's a couple of others. And what I'm trying to tell you is this isn't just someone who goes to the gym, because none of them have been at the gym actually, because we've been shut. These are just people. These are people like you who sat at home one day and thought, I really think I need to lose some weight. Or thought, I hate stepping on the scale because it never tells me what I want. Or thought, I just can't figure it out. Should I do this? Should I do that? Should I do this? Should I do that? And we've stripped it all away for them. And we've just gone, do this. And if you're sick of the scale beating you up, if you're sick of playing the lottery with the scale by stepping on it once a month and it never giving you the reading that you think you deserve, then these people are exactly the same as that. These are just normal human beings who live in England, who thought, right, enough is enough. I need to get a handle on this and I need to see what results I can get. My client, she has cerebral palsy. She has worked with me for probably about 3.5 years now. She was a para dressage rider at a national level. And then a few months ago, she decided to get into wheelchair basketball, which is great. Do what you want. She doesn't use a wheelchair day in, day out. She doesn't need a wheelchair. She can walk, but her walking isn't functional. It's not like how you and I walk, but she can walk and she can stand on her own 2 feet. She has a form of cerebral palsy that affected the lower half of her body. And she, like everyone else, has been searching for a solution to lose weight. She sent me this text. Let me read it to you. She went, over the month, I'm 1.5 kilos down. I'm actually proud because it's been on my terms rather than because of other people wanting me to do it, if that makes sense. And I actually feel like I learned a lot about weight. Like, I understand the peaks and troughs and also why they might happen. And now she's felt a release. She's felt a release by stepping on the scale every day and respecting it and understanding it. It's just data. It is what it is. This is her graph. I can't wait to share it with you. This is what it looks like. 1.5 kilos down. That's like 3 and a bit pounds. Again, over 30 days, which is amazing. And do you want to know why that's amazing? Because it matches perfectly what my very first client who did this achieved. That is epic. And then there's this person. I'll show you the graph first. Here's the graph. So this person, she started weighing herself. Sorry, let me tell you a bit about her first. She is 63 years old. She has been a dieter all of her life. She has never, ever, ever spent any time in her life where she's not been in a diet or not tried to lose weight. Now, this person started at 74.1 kilograms, and that was on June 2nd. And then on July 2nd, she got down to 73 kilos. So 74.1 to 73 kilos. That feeds into exactly what we're learning. It's about 2.2 pounds. It's a kilogram. Job done. Sustainable, right? But this is where it gets really interesting, especially with this person. It's something, if you're going to start stepping on the scale every day, it's something you really, really need to understand. The day before she started tracking her weight this way, she weighed 75.5 kilograms. The day before she actually started. If she'd have decided to step on the scale and commit to do once a day every morning, a day before, her result would have been 2.5 kilograms down in 30 days, which is above and beyond what I'd have expected. It's amazing. It's amazing. And what is really interesting about it, I remember having a conversation with this person when we summed it up. She hit the 30-day mark and I looked at it and I went, well, that's great, 2.2 pounds. It's like basically an entire kilo. She went, and that's not much. And that's what made me look into the day she started and the day before she started, because I had a sneaky feeling she had that data. And she first stepped on it on what was actually a low day for where her body weight was before. That was a low day. And then she's continued on from there. Remember, this is just a snapshot in time. The scale will do this. And if you decide to start stepping on the scale every day after watching this video or watching part 1, and you're at one of these points as opposed to one of these points, then you've got to be aware of that. And you're not going to know until you see a few more days up here. And then it comes down, it starts to come down, provided you've put a calorie deficit in place. And if you want to know how to do a calorie deficit, the video is on my channel. It's linked below. Because suddenly a kilo made this person feel really bad. Kilo is huge. As I said before, it doesn't matter what steps you take forward, as long as you take them forward. But suddenly it became, for the sake of 24 hours, it became 2.5 kilos. This is why constantly logging your data and viewing it as data is really, really important for you. So that's another person who feeds into our story of over 30 days, 2.4 pounds down. That's great. This person, I was considering whether to say lady, woman, this person, she's an absolute superstar. She walks, she does huge marathons, she does ultra marathons and all kinds of stuff. And she's attempting 100 miles very soon at the end of this month. And she's going to nail it. I know she's going to nail it. But anyway, again, she's the kind of person who has always been working on weight loss without really, really holding herself accountable to it, without really, really focusing herself on it, without really, truly implementing a calorie deficit. And it's by her own admission. And we've had phases through her training where it's been possible. And then she works in the city as a lawyer, and that's a tough job. But she also has a really young son, so she has that to worry about. And I'm only giving you all of this information as context to who she is, how busy her life is, and how that can have an effect on things. But also just to let you know that we're all like that. I'm sure your life is really busy. I'm sure it is. And that's fine. Because a common thing I hear is, oh, I'm too busy to lose weight. I'm too busy to focus on my fitness and stuff. And there's times where that is true, but there's also times where it's a convenient excuse. And I think you need to be aware of that as well. This client started on, I've got it written down here, 22nd of May. On 22nd of May. And she was 63.5 kilos. And she had a couple of bad moments in this month where it peaked and it troughed, and it peaked and it troughed and it peaked. And those peaks beat her up a little bit. And she'd tell me she felt a bit sad about them and stuff. And I'd be like, okay, but let's just wait till tomorrow. Let's just wait till tomorrow. Let's just wait till tomorrow. And in 30 days, she's done this, which is great. She's lost a kilo and a bit. She's now 62.2. So bang where we want it. Bang where we want it. A very, very special person to me. She signed up. She was one of the first people to sign up to the Fitness Collective. And yeah, she signed up probably like 6 weeks ago. And we got chatting. I got her on the phone. We did a podcast together. And I answered her questions, and I told her what to implement and how to implement it. Calorie deficit, goal body weight times 12, go to my calorie calculator, get your calorie window, all of these things. Do the workouts. And she's been great because she's communicated a lot with me. In fact, out of everybody, she's probably communicated the most with me about what's going on and why it's happening and everything else. And that's kept her accountable in a very different way. And believe me, if you're looking on losing weight, accountability, like stepping on the scale every day, is a form of accountability, but so is talking to people. So is taking work in process photos, not progress photos, work in process photos. And she holds a very special place in my heart because she really believed in me with what I was doing with the Fitness Collective. So anyway, she started, and again, she's been trying to lose weight for a long time. She's worked with personal trainer after personal trainer, and it's just never quite happened for her, and she wasn't sure why. And then she started understanding it a little bit more. She'd educated herself on what was going on, and this is a graph here. Now she's gone from 9 stone 7.8 all the way down to 9 stone 2. So she's lost 6 pounds in a month. That, again, is double what I personally would like to see, because it's not realistic. And actually now she's hit a plateau, and we're talking about that and we're discussing that, but she lost 6 pounds in a month. That's another person who's inspired. And by stepping on the scale each and every day, she's developed a better relationship with what it's saying, and she's moving forward, and she's lost weight. I'm starting to realize this video is just me like throwing up all these people who are losing weight, adopting a calorie deficit. But you know what? Yeah, it is. And I'm not ashamed to talk about it like that, because that's what you need. You have to educate yourself on why these things work, how they operate, and what you do. And it's a calorie deficit. Doesn't matter how you look at it. This formula works. The formula of being accountable to the scale every day, the formula of calculating your calories and tracking them, the formula of being consistent with it works. And what I'm really trying to do, I'm not trying to show off, I'm not trying to be arrogant, I'm trying to give you a body of data to convince you that you can do it as well. So far, I've had a 63-year-old. I've had someone with cerebral palsy. I've had someone with extreme hormonal issues. And I genuinely, I say that because Not because hormonal issues stop people from being able to lose weight, but I say it because that's a common misconception. And it's a very common misconception for those who are suffering with them. 90% of hormonal issues, thyroidism, PCOS, will only, on average, add an extra between 5 to 10 pounds, which is quite a big window. But probably if you're trying to lose weight, I reckon you probably think you're more than 5 to 10 pounds overweight. So it's not your hormones. But they're just normal people. They're normal people with everyday lives. But they're doing it with effort. I'm not going to say it's easy, because it's not at times. It can be really difficult. And it can be the last thing you want. But that's what a goal is, isn't it? You just keep moving towards what you want to achieve, and you just stay inspired, and you have to sometimes grin your teeth and bear it. Next up is the mum of 4. The 40-year-old, very stressed, homeschooling mum of 4. I had a conversation with her, and she was convinced. She was convinced that it doesn't matter what you do when it comes to weight loss. The second you stop, you put it all back on again. So I explained to her my views on what she was doing, and I sent her 2 links. I sent her a link to my calorie calculator, which you can get for free. It's linked below. And I also sent her a link to part 1 of this. And I said to her, these are my exact words. I said to her, you give me 30 days. If you haven't lost weight, and if by the end of those 30 days, you haven't learned more about losing weight than you ever have in your life previously to this point, then I will take back everything I've said, and I will give you the world's biggest apology publicly, because that's fair and that's right. I saw her a week later, and she had the biggest smile on her face, and she just felt like she'd figured it out. And then she finished the 30 days a few days ago, and I got this text message from her. She went, I feel better. She guesses her body's getting used to a new weight, because my God, has she got a new weight. But she has 4 pounds to go, which means that she will get back to her wedding day weight, which she hasn't been at since she had 4 kids. I think she got married maybe like 13, maybe like 14, maybe 15 years ago. And she's nearly back to where she was. She's now, I think, nearly 40. She might be 40. So she was like 25 then. And it's taken her that long to figure out how to get her body back to where she wanted to get it to. This is her readings. And that's over 30 days. It's an anomaly to the data I've been trying to tell you, in that 3 pounds in 30 days is good progress. But she's lost 8 pounds. 8 pounds in 30 days by implementing a calorie deficit. Stopped worrying about the calories she was burning, and she started putting her energy and her effort into the calories she was consuming. And by doing that, by focusing on that difference, she started creating weight loss. It ain't going to carry on that rate. It's just not. It's going to slow down. It's going to come to a screeching halt any day now. But that's okay. That's what we want. Because 8 pounds every 30 days is wholly unsustainable. I want it to slow down. In my opinion, 8 pounds in 30 days is too much. Because now she's set herself up for failure to an extent. It depends whether she's bought into it, whether she believes that's what is always going to be achievable. But you watching this, I don't want you to think that's going to happen to you. I want you to think that 3 pounds in 30 days is an incredible progress, because it is incredible progress. 8 pounds in 30 days is bat it out the park. But if you think that's going to happen to you, think again. And just to finish, I want to show you this one. Now, this is 6 weeks of progress from, again, a guy who's working from home at the moment, and he's the father of 4. He's got an equally stressful life as everybody else does. Yeah, he's implemented a calorie deficit and he's lost like nearly a stone in between 6 and 8 weeks. But I also wanted to give you some balance. Now I sit here and I say to you, oh, 3 pounds and that's great in a month and everything else. And it really, really is. And I really genuinely want you to believe that. But we also have to be aware that there are people out there who can just lose weight quicker. And this this is an anomaly because he's a man. So what do I mean by that? Well, men are bigger, they have higher BMRs, they have bigger organs, and they burn more calories at rest. So it's not surprised that the man in this group of people has lost more weight quicker than all of the women in this video. But he texted me and he said this when he texted me, calorie deficit is definitely working, and doing some calisthenics training, which I've really enjoyed, and some bike rides too, which I've enjoyed. I hope you have a good day. Well, yeah, I've had a great day. Fantastic day. Because it's messages like that that just make my heart sing. And it's got nothing to do with the numbers. It's got everything to do with the fact he said a calorie deficit works. And he enjoyed the training. He enjoys what he's doing. He enjoys the mode at which he makes these things happen. My hope for this video is that you've watched it and you've realised that it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter where you're from. It doesn't matter what you did, as long as you love me. No, I'm joking. It doesn't matter, but kind of not. It doesn't matter what you did. It doesn't matter what you've done previously. And it doesn't matter what your future holds. There are people in this video who have extremely stressful lives, who sleep nowhere near as much as I'd like them to, who eat not how I'd like them to eat, not ideally, not optimally, but they're all still losing weight. And they all have two things in common. They all implemented a calorie deficit, and they all took action every single day. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you've lost 1 pound in 2 months. It doesn't matter if you've lost 8 pounds in 2 months. What matters is that you do it. Now, every day. Now, I'm not saying you're going to have to be in a calorie deficit every single day. I'm not saying you can't go and have fun, you can't have meals out, you can't enjoy some alcohol, you can't enjoy a party, things like that. But you must never forget the work, because the work is what drives you through the process. And then you focus on the process. And all of these people, my job over this period of time has been to pull them away from focusing on the result and to get them to really, really, really focus on the process. And when they've done that, when they've stepped away from the result and they've realized it's a process, and that process requires work each and every day, then the results have come. So the average weight loss of the group, I'm going to leave the male out of it because it's an anomaly. He's a male to start with, a completely different sex, but also because it's over 6 weeks and I don't have 30-day figures for him. The average weight loss was this figure right here. 4.15 pounds. 24 pounds overall, divided by 6, 4 pounds in 30 days. That's what I've been saying. 4 pounds in 30 days is the average weight loss of my little group of people, who none of them would have achieved it had it not been for the very first person who pushed me to put all this together for her and then did the work herself. One of the most important things you can do when thinking about undertaking a fitness journey is doing it so that you inspire other people. I don't do this work to make money, because I don't make lots of money. I'm not a millionaire. I'm not one of these like super trainers or whatever. I don't do this work because I have to pay rent. I don't do this work for any other reason than I know that I can inspire someone with this kind of work. And that's what gets me out of bed every day. That's what makes me wake up each morning. That's what makes me sit here and do these videos, record my podcasts, write my manuals, write my articles, everything you see. Because I know if I can impact one person with every single piece of content that I create, then I'm helping change the world. So if you're thinking about losing weight, and if you're thinking about implementing accountability strategies, and you're thinking about stepping on the scale each and every day, and you're thinking about trying to get fit, trying to get healthy, when you think about who can you inspire, who in your life will you inspire when you start? And if you focus on that, then without a shadow of a doubt, you'll do it all with a smile on your face. You'll do it with great joy, and it will feel so much easier than doing it because you feel like you're fat. Who can you inspire? Whose lives do you want to change? The mum of 4 in this video, I said to her, stop worrying about wanting to lose the roll of fat over your belly. Why don't you think about inspiring your young family to be healthier? They hear you talk about your weight all the time, yet they never hear a different track. Change the track. Why don't you do it to inspire them, to inspire change, so that when they grow up, they're not plagued with the things you've been plagued with? Why don't you do it to change people's lives? And you'll change yours in the process. And that really, really, really is what you need to help drive you forward. I promise you that. My absolute thanks to everyone who's watched this. My absolute thanks to everyone who's let me share these stories. And my absolute thanks to the person who put her head above the water first. I was like, let's do it. Because without her, none of this would have happened. All of these people wouldn't have lost this weight. You wouldn't be watching this video. And she's inspired a lot of people to get fitter, get healthier, and help them change their lives. And I hope that makes her heart sing as much as it makes mine sing. Right, that's it from me. Peace, love, and protein. High fives and positive vibes. Bye!